The landscape of media has changed. At one point in time, there was nothing but newspapers. Then there was the TV news. But now, everybody's online, telling this and telling that, giving information, misinformation, misguiding people. So I guess I got to change with the time because everybody has. Welcome back to Everybody Has a fourth episode.
Podcast.
You were late that time.
Well, I wanted to wait for you to finish.
Four. I got to throw up my horseman. But welcome back, and I'm a gentleman, and my daughter, she's very respectful. So ladies first. This week I got to soccer. I kept my promise, and I started off the week with Millington versus Mumford at Millington. It's always a showdown and a clash whenever Millington and Mumford meet in any sport. And this was such a clash, it ended in a 2-2 tie. 1-1 at halftime. And then Millington took an early lead in the second half. Mumford rallied and got the game tying score late in the second half, and we left 2-2. What stood out to me, Mumford is a solid team, good team, but how can I put this? They moved up in classification this year. So they have to play Arlington, Bartlett, and Houston, nationally ranked, Collierville, nationally ranked. So I don't care how good Mumford is, that's a tough battle and task. So, but they are a quality team. Now, as for Millington, they got Coach E back. Coach Everson is back, and he is a young guru of science. He led the boys team to 2 state tournaments. And I think he's about to make some history with the girls once he gets a chance to, stay consistent with them. They're turned around and they're playing very well, and they're in the class 2A in soccer, and they're competing with the likes of Brighton, who made it to state last year. So I think Millington has a good shot, and we got to talk about our friend, Tamia Duckworth. We are familiar with the Duckworth family. Shouts out to Miss Sarah and her crew. Chris on the football team, all that good stuff. We go way back with the Duckworths. Well, the baby girl is doing her thing. Not only is she a great soccer player, she's a top 10 student, very smart, and a defensive wizard. Mumford was pretty much shouting from the bench, stay away from number one. Because on defense, if you got the ball, she's going to either stop you or take it from you. So I got to give a shout out to my girl, Tamia Duckworth, who's doing an excellent job leading that defense for Millington. Now, I go to Brighton. Well, actually, I went to Covington to watch Brighton versus Covington. How are the Lady Cardinals looking? Are they poised to make a return back to state? Coach Williams, she has her team looking good. They're 50-50 right now because they've been playing a very tough schedule, trying to prepare for October. Brooke McClellan, she is a phenomenal scorer. I saw her score 4 goals. 4 goals. She's crafty with the ball. She knows how to get open, and she's good. She has touch on the ball when she shoots. So Brighton and Millington could be a matchup I'm watching in October. Now, to close out the ladies' first segment, I have to give a shout out. Now, with technology, I should be able to find this, but Max Preps didn't have it. I couldn't find it on Coach T, the roster for the Covington Lady Chargers. So, Coach Luttrell, you see this? Please give me your roster so I can properly shout out your goalie, number 7. I must say, a tremendous young lady. While we were standing back there at the back of the field, just me and her, and the action's going on down the field, she looks back and says, "Are you having a good day, sir?" And it sounds trivial, but things like that really matter. When you're having a long day and somebody takes the time to recognize you when you're doing your job. And she had a casual conversation with me twice as a good person, a good spirited human being. And I just want to let you know, young lady, that really made my day. So I hope you enjoy these highlights that feature you getting some saves and giving up a couple goals. But I just hope that you see this, and I just want to let you know I really appreciate you, and stay a good person because it's going to help you in the long run. And we'll be back with some football.
Chad Blunt.
segment number 2, and trying to recap a little football. Yeah, I know you busy during the week, so I had to go check out the young ladies in the area in volleyball and soccer. But she does get out there on Friday nights, and we almost didn't get a game in because all that rain that started to come down.
Which was very, like, sudden, because it wasn't even supposed to rain. But, but it cleared up right before the game. I mean, honestly, I feel like they were being a little over dramatic with the rain, talking about the game starting at 7:30.
So,
I thought it was gonna start at 6:30, and then it starts at 7:30. Yeah, that was crazy.
So we started 15 minutes late. We started at 7:15 out there at Lakeland. Our first time going out to Lakeland, and this is a first for Lakeland in 4A, and this was their first 4A game against Millington. Millington looked like they were about to teach them a lesson and welcome them to 4A when they jumped up 14-0. So your boys, your alma mater looked pretty good there the first couple minutes.
He did what, 2 touchdown passes?
Who is he?
Cole Hawkins.
Okay, Cole Hawkins. Let's give Cole Hawkins a shout out.
Yeah.
2 touchdown passes.
Honestly, like that whole game, he really showed that like he's quarterback material. Like he actually is like football smart too.
Yeah.
It's not just just throwing a ball. Like he actually makes plays.
It looked like it was slowing down for him, the game. That screen pass that he threw to B.J. Martin for the I think it was like a 76-yard touchdown. How he baited in the defense, bait him in, and then he just throws the perfect screen.
That was crazy. And then at the end, honestly, they weren't getting the 2-point conversions before Lakeland tied it up, and then they started taking the lead. They weren't getting 2-point conversions, but then I believe it's fourth quarter. It was fourth quarter, and he locked in, and when he ran in the end zone to get that 2-point conversion. I was shook. I was like, oh my gosh. I was praying really hard too. I was like, I hope they get this 2-point conversion.
And that tied the game up at 28. But then the guy on the opposite side, Brett Godwin for Lakeland. He's a junior, but he's a 3-year starter. He went through the stuff Cole went through 2 years ago as a freshman with a total freshman team when they played a JV schedule. He took his lumps. Last year, turned the corner. Then he had a collarbone injury. Now he understands the game. It slowed down for him. He's go-to weapon. Aiden Quinn, oh man, you're talking about a college-level athlete. Number 3 for Lakeland. He's a quality athlete and was a game changer throughout the night. Once they got their rhythm going, Lakeland found some momentum, got a lead, kept nursing the lead. But I think it was Bryce Robinson who caught the game-winning touchdown late from Godwin because he knew everybody was going to load up on number 3, hits his guy over the middle. He looked him off, hit his guy over the middle. That's the maturity that Cole is getting ready to turn the corner and start having. But did you enjoy the game? I think the team didn't win, but did you enjoy it?
It was a good game. It was really nice to see Millington, kind of, I don't know how to explain it, I don't want to say it because I don't want to sound rude. But
they were competitive.
They were competitive. It wasn't they didn't turn into a rug. They weren't getting walked all over. They had a fight.
The Fairleigh game, I think the moment overwhelmed. Saturday night 100-year celebration.
Yeah.
The hoopla, the game was an afterthought. Maybe the boys felt like an afterthought. Yeah. Mumford overwhelmed them because Mumford's huge. Those are big boys out there.
And then it's also a big deal too because it's the M&M Bowl, rivalry. Everybody's and then there's a whole a lot of expectation because Millington hasn't won the M&M Bowl in a long time. So all that pressure is on them. So that's hard too, especially. And then also Mumford is bigger than them. So for them to actually go against someone their own size, it's kind of pick up someone your own size. When they went against someone their own size, they actually showed that they can win.
But Coach Michael said they're learning how to win, and they're about to turn a corner. And Coach David White out there at Lakeland doing a great job with his program. I picked them to finish second in the league behind Haywood. They got Haywood coming up this week, so they'll figure out how good they are really at Lakeland. And I said Millington would be in that 3rd spot because I thought because the game was at Lakeland, that's why Lakeland would win. So it's playing out the way I kind of saw it would play out. But I didn't know this would be the night where I think Cole Hawkins turns the corner for Millington. I'm a little bit of a Millington historian. The last 20-some years I covered Trojan football. I seen when Eldon Timms, he was freshman quarterback. It was a game his sophomore year that he turned the corner. McCoy Pugh, I saw him turn the corner. It was at FACS his freshman year during the COVID season. something clicked that night. Tommy Clifton. It was a game against Kirby. It was homecoming, and he won that night. And you see him take a deep breath. Although it was a loss, I saw Cole Hawkins turn the corner. I honestly believe this is now his team, and when he gets with Coach Kraft and it starts to read his mind, like you said, he has a football mind. We used to see him on the sideline all the time as a kid. He's been born for this. He's been ready for this. This is his moment in time. He stays healthy. It's going to turn the corner for the whole football team real soon. The little man in charge is going to be the man.
Yeah, he's a good leader, especially like him, like getting the guys to like calm down and actually like focus on the game. Like he showed like maturity. Like you would have thought like he was like a junior or senior out there. Like how he was trying to like, hey guys, let's play football. Like that's all that he was trying to keep everybody's focus on. Like I feel like a lot of the other guys were probably like losing their cool a little bit, but he was still like locked in. Like there's still time on the clock, even though we can't see it. There's still time on the clock. Let's play football, and they kept their head in the game, and that was. Yeah.
He gave his guys a chance to win, and that's all you can ask for your quarterback. And to close out the football recap, Collierville bounced back with a big win this week. They pulled out a close win, and they had Horn Lake down in Mississippi and pulled out a 3-point win over them. Houston lost their third in a row. Young team. And they lost, I think it's still out of league, so they haven't been in league play yet. You want to start getting good when you're into league play. Bartlett lost to Melrose at home. Melrose, we know from Millington last year, Melrose is good, and they're building a program there and having some turnover there. So that's not an upset to those who know, but on paper that was a big upset to shock people. And we're at the third game of the season. MUS is still undefeated. So that's a quick football recap, and we'll hit some more on this when we get to the Power 10. But we'll be back after we check out some highlights of the very entertaining Lakeland-Millington game.
Tattoo, baby.
Okay, we're back with our third segment, and it's the Sights and Sounds, and I'm going to turn it over to my daughter, Liyah, so she can tell us. All that I'm going to throw in first. It's raining, and we hear Purple Rain when we ride up to Lakeland.
Yes.
I thought it was very fitting. But what did you see, and what did you hear?
So, you know, it was a little hectic because, you know, they said they delayed the game till 7:30. So we walk in and there's people waiting at the gate trying to get tickets. We run into Millington teachers, you know, my favorite teacher, Miss Pugh, I love her. And, you know, all Lakeland people, all that stuff. And it was
very nice. They're very kind.
They were very nice people. And so then, you know, we get into the game. They're playing all types of music. All the players are warming up. So it's a good time. You don't feel like this game is gonna go crazy. You're just like, this is a regular game. The rain delayed it. This is gonna be a basic game. That is not how it went at all whatsoever. Millington gets the lead early on, and then it's just like, I don't know, like the sun goes down and everybody kind of loses their minds.
Werewolf mentality.
It's just like everyone loses their mind. Like there's so like, you know, coaches are gonna be like calling things. They see things on the sideline, especially when it comes to like their team.
Everything's a hole.
So
everything's a block in the back.
So you know, the coaches are, oh, this person's doing this. This person, why aren't the refs doing this? Why aren't the refs doing that? Like, you know, they're gonna be like that. Coaches are gonna be like that. And it gets to a point where one of the refs decides to tell the coach Michaels, to shut up.
And now my daughter said something that was very funny. She said, in my 22 years, she pauses. And I'm looking like, of life, I never heard it before. I think I've been doing this for 22 years as a reporter, and I never heard that. I've heard referees say, coach, one more time, coach, I got this flag, coach. But to tell a coach, shut up.
He said, shut up. And not only that, he said, yeah, I said it. He stood 10 toes down on the fact that he told the coach to shut up. That was so unprofessional. And it just kind of like...
sucked the air out of it.
Yeah, it sucked the air out of the game.
It took the fun out of the game.
It didn't make the game fun. It just seemed like there was like... Animosity, like a vendetta.
The very next play, Millington's called for a hold or something.
For personal fouls.
They're already inside the 10, so it puts them half the distance. No matter what Millington did on that play, it was going to get called back. So coach just called a little conservative play, and it got called back just to show who's in power, who's in charge. But it took the fun out of the game, like you said. And yeah, both sides, like teenage boys, they were cursing. But it seemed like the flash went more towards Millington, and so the Trojan sideline felt some kind of way about it. So, but there was
I heard some things from the players. They were not happy with that ref at all whatsoever. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
And so basically it just kept going downhill from that. So Millington is the visiting team. So on the sidelines is the chain gang. And I just feel like them being there and then Millington being there and they're Fort Lakeland, it just kind of like put this energy in the air that like we are not friends. Like we don't like each other right now. And it's not like we actually don't like each other because like, you know, Bo Griffin, superintendent, was like talking to them, being all nice and stuff, all that stuff. Like, but it's just like, you could feel the energy of like we're enemies. In the same, like, and we're standing right next to each other.
It's the heat of competition.
And then it keeps going downhill even more because the time just breaks down. The time clock just breaks down, disappears. But like, we're having a time malfunction.
So the last 3 minutes seemed to take forever.
Yeah, it was a little suspicious. Like it was like they would say a time, and then you would think, oh, definitely 20 seconds passed by, right? No, it's like 3 seconds were like taken off.
Game time, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was just a little off, and it just
sus. As the kids
yeah, it was very suspicious. And so you know, they were down. Millington was down what like 28 to 14, I think.
Yeah, they got down by double digits.
I think it was 28 to 14. Then they got that touchdown. Which Cole, he did that fake out like you know they really like got on to that thinking he was handing it off, and he was still holding on to it. He even got you. He didn't get me because I was behind them and I saw everything.
They saw the highlight.
I saw everything. So
they saw my highlight. Y'all gonna see Liyah's lane.
I was behind, so I knew he still had the ball. He didn't, but I knew he still had the ball. And he does that crazy play and he runs the touchdown and then gets the 2-point conversion. And then it's just like the energy still was like so like negative. It was just so negative. The coaches are mad. The players are mad. The refs are mad. Everybody's mad. And it's like can we just play football? So then you know they get Lakeland gets another touchdown basically because the only fair call that the refs really did get was that face mask. Because I saw that face mask and it was so bad.
It was a blatant.
It was so bad. I was like, no. Because Millington's defense is not bad. Like, their defense was actually really good that game. And all they had to do was tackle the man and not touch his freaking helmet at all. And they would have had, like, what, fourth down? That would have been third or fourth down.
Yeah. It would have been the game.
That would have been the game. They would have been able to keep it tied. It would have went on to another quarter.
The momentum that Millington was at, they would have gone down and scored. I honestly believe.
Truly. They probably would have gone and scored. But the game ends. They get that touchdown. It's too late for them to come back. And
so let's put it like this. Our first visit to Lakeland would be memorable for two reasons. Very beautiful campus.
It is.
Absolutely immaculate. And the game. The game tells a great story. So check it out in the Millington Star and the Bartlett Express this week. Be on newsstands this Thursday for the recap. And you can check out the highlights at YouTube at West 10 Media. And speaking of that, we're going to come back with some more promotional stuff called the Dynamic Power 10. So we'll be back with our final segment. And we're back with our final segment. We're going to look at our Dynamic Power 10. But before we do that, Liyah has taught me something. We got to get people commenting down below. So she's going to have some little code or something to say. But I'm going to give you a challenge right now. Some of the players we've been talking about, like Tamia Duckworth, Cole Hawkins, Brett Godwin. We've been throwing out some names out there. Comment them if you know. I'm going to hashtag them in the little description below. So I get the point below because that's where you need to be reading the information where you can check out the Power of 10 and all that. But hey, shout out your kids. So it not only promotes us, it promotes them. And you need us to be around so we can do a good job of covering your kids to help these colleges and all these places know what they up to. So what are these teams up to in the area? Let's go look at our Dynamic Power 10. This little shake-up this week, still the same number 1. Number 10 this week, Briarcrest. They're 2-1. They will be at Father Ryan, another tough game. They took a 21-14 loss to Innsworth. Very close game against a good team. So we couldn't drop them out the top 10. At number 9, Christian Brothers. They suffered their first loss of the season. Now, this is not a baseball score. 8-7 to Lausanne. I don't know how to 8. I got to go do some research. Was there a safety involved? That's a weird score. 8-7 Lausanne. But Christian Brothers tried to bounce back with a very tough game at Montgomery Bell. Number 8, the Tipton Rosemar Rebels. Another big game for our guy, Nick Fullen. He is tearing up the field. They're 2-1. They're heading to FACS this week. They picked up a 49-19 win over Hardin Academy. I think they started to hit their stride out there with Coach Dean. At number 7, they bounced back, as I aforementioned, the Collierville Dragons. They would take on Madison Ridgeland. This week, they picked up a 39-35 win at Horn Lake. So they went down to Mississippi and beat a quality Horn Lake team that beat South Panola. So that's a great win. At number 6, now we're into all our unbeaten teams. At number 6, Arlington. They're 3-0. They took care of Hamilton 48-0. They have another game this week where they should put up 40-something points, and they're going against Ridgeway. I think they haven't been scored on this season. But the schedule has been full of Memphis teams, and they should keep that streak going. I think they're building up cohesion out there with the Tigers to see when they get against those big dogs. Okay, number 5, we're into our top 5. At 3-0, St. George's. The Griffins are bad. They're 35-7 over FACS on Friday, and they're going to take on Jackson Christian. Now we'll see they're really bad. Jackson Christian is always good. Number 4, MUS, the Owls. They're at 3-0. They have Liscombe Academy coming up. They took care of Kirby 49-16. Now our top 3. Mumford had the week off. They're still 2-0. Now I hope they already took their travel plans up to Kentucky. They might be traveling this week, but they got a big tough game coming up against a team out of Kentucky at Warford County. And number 2, at 3-0, the Germantown Red Devils. 65-0 over Sheffield. I hope they left some of those points. They take a few with them because they got to go to Whitehaven. They're going to the Haven. The Tigers are looking good this year, so that's going to be a tough task. We'll see how good Gene Robinson's team really is when they take on the Tigers. And at number 1, 3-0, after a 58-0 win over Douglas, their version of the Red Devils, the Covington Chargers. And they go to their Tipton County rival, the Brighton Cardinals, this week. Brighton is 0-3, been playing better and better. Costello, like I said, those are baby Cardinals. They're going to need some time to grow. They're tripping up their little food and they're getting stronger and stronger. They're going to have to definitely get stronger this week against Covington. Coach Kirby has his boys playing very well. And that's our Dynamic Power 10. Once again, thank you, Dynamic Physical Therapy, for sponsoring our Power 10. And also, as we close out, Check out our papers this week. As we will mention and announce who won our Athletes of the Year for the West 10 Media. That's all our papers together, all 20 teams that we cover in our coverage areas. And the winners this year for 2025, he's off at UT Knox, getting ready to play some baseball. Chandler Day of Houston, our first ever back-to-back winner in either category for male or female for West 10 Media. We've been doing this since 2015. And Miss Webb out there at Collierville, she's our female athlete of the year, junior year, now she's into a senior year. I think she's going to be the first girl to win back-to-back. It'd be very hard to take it away from her because she said she's going to get better and stronger. So that's a recap of some of the things we had going on this week. Now, Liyah, what's your closing thoughts?
Well, before we get into Leah's lens, I just want you to comment green hearts because today we're recording on Sunday, September the 7th. And it's my dad's birthday, and green is his favorite color. So, put green hearts or a happy birthday or happy belated birthday because it will be Monday when you guys see this. And, enjoy Leah's lens.
I bet they thought blue was my favorite color because we got a little church blue going on.
We didn't do this on purpose. It just happened.
Sometimes God has you on one accord. And don't pull the cord yet. Watch Leah's lens. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Ooh, Chad.
I love a trap.